back from London yesterday in the evening, and let's just celebrate straight up. Got the passport sorted. I have to pick it up. Hello. In about 3 weeks. So this guy can never, like, the moment I sit still. It was really nice to come back to London. It was really lovely to remember why I love that city. It's my favorite city in the world, and I really hope I feel that way about New York when the time comes. We had such a good time, just 4 days. Went to the Tate, went to the Natural History Museum, walked around town, walked around Camden, saw some good friends, did the bureaucratic paperwork that needed to be done. And it was kind of like, I love London, and I've said this for a long time, that it kind of acts as a measuring stick for me. I get to measure different versions of myself, and as I evolve and grow and change as a human being. The last couple of months, I've been feeling so much resistance and loss and confusion. Just life, my life specifically, has offered a lot of small deaths, let's say, just like endings. So many endings, so much just completing for me. And I wish I was always super graceful with it, but of course I had emotional responses and reactions, and continue to as I grieve the loss of certain parts of my business and the changes that I'm making and the way that I'm moving forward. And I know this is all part of life. Of course I know that. And that doesn't mean that I don't sometimes find it really challenging. And then I was talking to a good friend of mine yesterday, actually, like, waiting for the flight to take off. She reminded me that contraction always precedes expansion, just like an inhale always precedes an exhale. And it made me realize that, yes, like, I am at the end of a specific life cycle, and that life cycle is like several life cycles happening, closing for me at the same time. I would say probably the one since I left Canada and moved to Mexico. So that's like 5-6 years, that whole life cycle. Then even maybe the one where since I first started my business, so 11 years, that life cycle. Not that, it's just everything's changing, and the way that I'm showing up is changing. And also my romantic relationship cycle, which is completely, I feel like I'm in a completely new place with that than I ever have been before. And so many, like, a lot of men from my past were coming through last year, and that's all disappeared. Like, just so many things have fallen away. Not to say that's been easy. Some of it's been easy, some of it's been great, and some of it's been really hard. And it made me think about some other examples of what that looks like how creative blocks always precede, yeah, that's the word, a creative breakthrough, or scarcity always precedes a much higher level of abundance. I noticed that in my life, that when I'm about to make a lot of money, I go through a little phase of where I feel really lacking in abundance. But I also think, like, in terms of life cycles, where sometimes you go through a really dark period and then something happens where you get to experience life from a completely new perspective. And yeah, I think my reflection here is that that's what I've been going through, and now that I'm aware of it, I'm able to relax into it more and feel less threatened and reactive. And so I think the gift here is that contraction forces clarity, alignment, and depth. It strips away what no longer serves so that expansion is real and sustainable. And I'm kind of grateful now that I realize and recognize this from this perspective, that everything that's been happening in my life has been happening for me, and I get to hold the vision and the dreams and allow them to be bigger, and allow myself to move through this momentary phase of contraction, because I'm about to step into this long wished for expansion, this new level of my life. And I've been asking for it for over a year. I'm like, show me the next step, show me the next step, show me the next step. And it's showing me the next step. Here we are.